From Joe to Jeff Hardy to the bar to Big Cass coming back. All that plus so much more talent coming to SmackDown Live. The WWE, in my eyes, clearly gave SmackDown the better end of the roster. We're going to be going over that plus so much more right here on this review of the last night of the shakeup. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for tuning in. This is Webby. Subscribe. Hit the bell for all notifications. Thank you very much if you do. And follow me on Facebook at 2007 Webby over on Facebook. Much appreciated. I'd like to throw out a shout out to my friend Jason Funny 42. He's down at his Weird Al concert. He's going to be putting up some Weird Al stuff over there on his YouTube page. Go and check him out. And check out my other friend, David Awesome 24 on YouTube. He has some entertaining stuff over there as well. Now, SmackDown tonight clearly got the better end of the deal. Clearly. When we look at everybody got on Raw from this shakeup, Jinder Mahal, the Riot Squad, Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler. It's a good list. Don't get me wrong. Breezango, everybody like that. You know, however, tonight, look at the impact. And I know this is only day one and things could change, but look at the impact that they gave here on SmackDown. First and foremost, Samoa Joe. Now, he did only face Sin Cara. I understand that. But I want you to think of what could happen if WWE books Samoa Joe and all these superstars in the best way possible. Samoa Joe, who really, if you think about it, had reached his peak on Monday Night Raw with the stars that they had up on top. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, all those guys who wasn't going anywhere. Samoa Joe coming over to SmackDown, most definitely could see him as WWE champion. Most definitely could see him as United States champion. Most definitely could see him in great rivalries with Jeff Hardy, with AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Daniel Bryan. The list goes on. Fantastic rivalries. A huge payoff for all the hard work he has put in at NXT, Monday Night Raw, and now SmackDown Live. Tremendous move by the WWE. Love him being on SmackDown. He made a huge impact, destroying Sin Cara. Kind of a warm-up squash matchup, but then making claim that the WWE and SmackDown is not the land of opportunity, and it's the land of handouts, and he's going to pretty much put everybody in on the roster to sleep, and he's going to take the Universal Championship away from Roman Reigns if by some miracle Roman Reigns beats Brock Lesnar. And he will have the Universal Championship and the Intercontinental Championship on SmackDown Live because he is going after the IC title a week from Friday in the ladder matchup. With all this being said, Samoa Joe on SmackDown. Fantastic move. What about Jeff Hardy? Jeff Hardy coming over to SmackDown Live. Now, we did think, a lot of us, that Seth Rollins was going to come over to SmackDown because Jinder Mahal went over to Monday Night Raw. with the United States Championship and dropped the title. First night. Made us all happy seeing that. Jeff Hardy thought he was going to have a run on Monday Night Raw with the U.S. title, and then Seth Rollins go over to SmackDown, have a change of scenery, have it Tuesday Night Rollins. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Didn't see it. And Jeff Hardy's over here, new, fresh look for him. He's got some good rivalries ahead his way, especially with Andrade Cien Almas up and some of the other guys that are there, maybe with Ty Dillinger and others. Jeff Hardy has a good rivalry base over on SmackDown. Samoa Joe, list goes on. Now, one thing I am going to mention that I don't know a lot of people out there will mention is with the bar coming over to SmackDown, it really pretty much makes it a guaranteed that Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt are going to win the Raw Tag Team Championships. So, with that being said, wouldn't it have been a sight if Matt, Jeff, and Bray all came out at the same time with championships? That's just me. The Woken Wyatt Hardy family all coming out at once with titles, with gold. That would have been cool to see. Not going to get to see it. That's okay. One of them has a change of scenery, but that would have been a nice dynamic. Now, what about this whole big cast? Daniel Bryan, Shinsuke Nakamura, Rusev, all this stuff that happened tonight. Now, this all came to be because AJ Styles wanted Nakamura at the very beginning of SmackDown. He wanted to fight. Didn't get it. He got Rusev Day instead. WWE still pushing Rusev Day as a heel when clearly he's a babyface with the fans. Not getting into that. Not going to complain about that tonight. However, they end up setting up a match, and it lasts about a minute because Aiden English interferes, which instantly has Daniel Bryan come down and help AJ Styles. This sets up a tag team match made by Paige. Let me holla at you, playa. And that's later on for the main event, where it's the Yes Movement and the phenomenal Yes Movement. I just came up with that. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan taking on Rusev Day. And in the middle of the show, Daniel Bryan was asked, "Why are you helping AJ Styles?" Well, I have respect for him. And Big Cass interferes and says, "This is what everybody's all hyped up and excited for." And it goes off. The match takes place. It was an okay matchup. It was going okay. And then all of a sudden, Nakamura low blows AJ Styles. Daniel Bryan turns around and big boot right to the face. Not bad. I mean, it's not bad. I'm glad Big Cass is not in some rivalry with some big, huge, tall guy that he would have been on Monday Night Raw. On Monday Night Raw, we were seeing him with the Big Show and Kane and things of that nature. And Enzo, which was going nowhere, that kind of rivalry. Him being in a rivalry with Daniel Bryan instantly will give him mega heat. Because Daniel Bryan, without a doubt, I don't care what anybody says, is the most popular person in the WWE today. Hands down, bar none. So instant heel heat for Big Cass. Now, speaking of Daniel Bryan, one thing that they did tonight also revolving around Daniel Bryan that was great, that they finally gave us a hook to tune into next week, and I hope they absolutely do an awesome job with it, is The Miz. The Miz, who's on SmackDown now, wasn't there tonight. He was with his wife, Maurice, and his little baby. Now, Daniel Bryan supposedly called him out. He says he's showing up on his time, which is next week. That gives us a reason to tune in. We all know how awesome of a rivalry that was between them, and we wanted to see Daniel Bryan get his hands on The Miz because of everything Daniel Bryan had to go through listening to The Miz throughout all those weeks while Daniel Bryan was GM, listening to all that bad verbiage and promos cut by The Miz and the yes kicks that The Miz kept on doing, which I'm sure we'll see more of now. Whatever the case, this is promising to be awesome, I hope, and can't wait to see what they do with it next week. But other than that, Carmella had her Mella celebration. It was okay. I don't see her holding the title that long. I don't see her doing anything special with it. I see her dropping it very fast. Now, since Asuka is on SmackDown, Asuka versus Charlotte for the Women's Championship is where the money's at, not Carmella having the championship. Therefore, I see Charlotte picking the title back up at the very latest Backlash. Whatever the case, Carmella comes out, she prances around, she does what she always does, and honestly, I'm a fan of Carmella, but she's not a character that's championship material. I mean, she's just not. And other than that, really nothing of major importance happened on the show tonight. That was all the important things that happened on the show. The one thing I'm going to gripe about, and you've heard me somewhat gripe about this before, except in a different way, and I'm not going to gripe about it in a way that I have in the past. Because in the past, it's because they have been burying Rusev. As we know, Rusev is back facing The Undertaker a week from Friday in that casket match. Okay, whatever. We all know what's going to happen. Okay. Now, there's no build to this matchup. Now, some of you will say, oh, he's facing The Undertaker. It's in a casket match. There doesn't need to be one. To me, there needs to be a build to this contest. It would make it more intriguing. It would make it awesome. Something. Give us some growth to it. Give us something to make it interesting on TV. Not just some impromptu matchup between the Dead Man and Rusev in a casket. I have friends that watch this show with me throughout the week on Monday and Tuesdays. That's pretty much all they watch of wrestling. They don't watch it like I do. And they watch that and they watch pay-per-views with me. They don't watch wrestling like I do. And they even said that the one thing this is missing is stuff in the middle. The stuff in the middle is what is missing to make this exciting for them. And I happen to agree with it. Even though we know the outcome, we need something in the middle. Rusev needs to come out next week and say something about The Undertaker, point blank, bar none. Or The Undertaker needs to come down or do something and strike some lightning or something to make this interesting, besides us knowing the match. Y'all let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. Facebook at 2007 Webby. And until I see you again, this is Webby, and I will catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.